literary legends and luminaries. I'm Julie and welcome to another episode of Write Smart. Today we're going to see what Fight Club's author Chuck Palahniuk has to say about writing in his memoir, how-to book called Consider This: Moments in My Writing Life After Which Everything Was Different. I'm going to call him Chuck because I don't want to slaughter his last name. So I've not read any of Chuck's books, but Fight Club, the movie, was charming and horrifying and oh so clever all at the same time. In my journey to be inspired to write, I found the book shortly before Thanksgiving and was pleasantly surprised. It's an easy read with some helpful hints. Within my writing journey, I read Consider This when I was still struggling to figure out what my purpose of writing was. It helped pull me out of my funk. My writing is coming along, but I think I'm tackling too many projects at once, but maybe that's what I need to do right now. Maybe trying to work on just one, especially when I have parts that I need to research and I already have written other parts and I'm copying and pasting stuff into one big document. Maybe that was more frustrating, so who knows? I don't know. But whatever I'm doing seems to be working and I'm making progress on 2 projects right now. And books like Consider This help us struggling writers to get a handle on our own progress and work. So first off, Chuck's books highlights the problem with expertise and experience in the world of writing. Everyone has something slightly different to say about it. That's how all these books read. The method to becoming a published author all varies, and what each deems as the best advice for writing usually contradicts what another writer says. If you write fiction, Consider This gives you a lot of tips, some of which I could easily apply to my own creative nonfiction writing. Each of his writing chapters is a lesson, which is divided up into mini lessons, a structure that worked perfectly in my opinion. One is on authority, and my favorite line in the book is this: do not write to be liked, write to be remembered. In his tension chapter, he tells readers not to reveal important information in dialogue. He writes about verbs and echoes Stephen King's don't use the passive voice stuff, but Chuck delivers the message more clearly than King. He ends his writing chapters with, if you were my student, I'd tell you, which was very effective. I like that approach. So hear how he ends his chapter called Why Bother? A chapter about the purpose of writing, which was what I was struggling with when I read the book. And so here's what he says about why you should bother. To shut yourself off from these stories is to accept the banal version of reality that's always used to frame advertisements for miracle wrinkle creams and miracle diet pills. It's as if we denied the real magic of life so that we can sell each other the sham magic of consumer products. Another example of the shop replacing the church. If you were my student, I'd tell you to reject the believable and go looking for the actual wonders that surround you. I'd tell you to read The Harvest by Amy Hempel and discover all the truths she deemed too fantastic for the reader to accept. I'd urge you not to use fiction as a vehicle for social engineering. Readers don't need to be fixed or repaired. Instead, I'd remind you of Tom Spanbauer's directive: write about the moment after which everything was different. So, between each of these lessons, he has chapters called A Postcard from a Tour, which is a personal experience from one of his book tours. Chuck is funny and witty when he tells his stories. Towards the end of the book, he has reading lists and troubleshooting writing charts for you. The book was a very fast read, almost too fast in my opinion, because I didn't pause to chew on his ideas as much as I thought I should. However, it was an enjoyable read with nifty hints throughout. I can't say if I learned more or less from his books than any other author's writing memoir. I think the trick with reading these types of books is do not read them back to back. Space them out while you're in your own writing journey. That way, if you get stuck, a book such as this will get you out of your funk. And even if you're not stuck, it invigorates you to keep writing. Once you've been reading and writing and teaching for as long as I have, it's amazing to still discover little gems within such books, but the whole book rarely opens up a whole new universe for you. The joy is being inspired through a successful author's writing journey and picking up some helpful hints along the way. And that's exactly what Consider This did. So consider putting Consider This on your to-read list. It may give you enough of a nudge to continue your own writing. Thanks for watching. As always, my goal at Write Smart is to write books so that we can all read books and get a little bit smarter, one book at a time.